Hi everyone, welcome back to Jessipes. I'm Jess. I make recipes that are fun, easy, and healthy. Today's recipe is super fun because it's black bean brownies. Now, I know what you're thinking, black bean brownies? Ew! But I can attest, I have made these before and they are super delicious. So let's try it. So these are going to be chocolate peanut butter swirl brownies, and they come from Chocolate Covered Katie. I have done other recipes by her before and usually they're really good, so I'm very excited. So your first ingredient, you're going to use 1 can of beans, black beans. You're going to use 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder, 1/3 cup of pure maple syrup. She also mentions a pinch of uncut stevia, or increase the maple syrup to 1/2 cup. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do 1/2 cup of the maple syrup because I don't have uncut stevia. 1/3 cup of oil, or 1/3 cup of peanut butter. So I'm going to do 1/3 cup of this almond butter. 2 teaspoons of pure vanilla extract. 1/2 teaspoon of baking powder. And then 1/2 cup to 2/3 cup of chocolate chips. She says not optional, omit at your own risk. And then because it's a chocolate peanut butter swirl, you'll also need a nut butter. So I'm going to use this almond butter for that. The first thing you need to do is preheat your oven to 350. And then you're also going to need an 8x8 baking pan or like a glass thing, and you're going to line that with parchment paper. Parchment paper is a Jessipe's best friend. I use this all the time. It's so handy for making sure that things don't stick when you're baking, or like if I make protein balls and I want to put them away carefully. This is great. So if you don't currently use parchment paper normally, I highly recommend it. You need it in your life. I almost forgot one of the main ingredients, which would have been tragic. You're gonna also need a 1/2 cup of quick oats and a little bit of salt. A key piece of equipment that you're gonna need also is a food processor. So I have a Cuisinart, whatever food processor you have should be fine. So once you've preheated your oven and you've lined your pan or dish with parchment paper, you're gonna rinse your beans very well and pat them dry. So I have them here in a colander. I'm just gonna pat them gently with a paper towel. And she says to put everything into your food processor except some of the nut butter and the chocolate chips. What I did when I made these before is I put the oats in first to make sure that they really got ground into a flour. And then I added the other dry ingredients, pulsed a little bit, and then I added the beans. I don't know if that's really necessary, but that just gave me peace of mind that the oats were gonna break down properly and not be too chunky. Here we are, putting in my 1/2 cup of oats. We're not plugged in. Once I feel like it's a pretty decent flour-like substance, I mean, there's definitely some chunks in there, but I think it's okay. I'm gonna add my salt and baking powder and just pulse a little bit more. The baking powder, you want 1/2 teaspoon, and the salt, I'm just gonna do like a little kind of pinch of salt. Close that up again and pulse. I'm now gonna add my black beans. Okay, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder. 2 teaspoons of vanilla. 1/3 cup of almond butter. 1/2 cup of maple syrup. Now we're ready to mix. During the mixing process, I find it helpful to open it and just scrape it with a silicone spatula, just to make sure that the stuff on the sides gets mixed in equally. She says to blend until completely smooth and to blend really well. So I'm just gonna open this baby up. I'm gonna scrape the sides just one more time. Really make sure we're blended. I think the batter's ready. She does say to grease the pan. I don't know if she forgot that she was lining it with parchment, but I'm just gonna do the sides because I don't want to take any risks. Okay. Oh, well, that made the parchment stick down. And then pour my batter in. Next, Katie says to warm the peanut butter or almond butter to make it more spreadable, but that won't work if there actually are tiny pieces of foil on the edge of your jar that you didn't know about when you put it in the microwave. So we're just gonna use it as is. You're gonna put spoonfuls onto the top and swirl it. Finally, we're gonna pop this baby in the oven for 14 minutes. Remember, the temperature is 350. The timer went off and the brownies are out. Now you're gonna let them cool for about 10 minutes. And Katie says to refrigerate them overnight so they firm up and that they're gonna taste much sweeter and richer. I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next recipe soon. Bye! This is such a tease. I want to eat them now.